Breaking right now on Wink News at 4. Wink News in Lehigh Acres, where a brush fire has broken out close to homes.
Breaking new details. Wink News goes on the water for an all-out search for a missing boater, gone now for more than 24 hours.
Classroom controversy. Wink News digging deeper into the sudden suspension of a Lee County principal.
Also breaking right now, protests growing by the minute in California. Hundreds of people angry at Donald Trump.
And an unholy act at a Cape Coral church. New at 4, Wink News talks exclusively with the victims.
Wink News begins with breaking news.
Breaking first at 4, we're on the scene of a fast-moving brush fire in Lehigh Acres. Thanks for joining us. I'm Amanda Hall.
And I'm Bob Erzik. The flames are burning close to homes at Milwaukee Boulevard and Hawthorne Avenue, right near East Lee County High School. Wink News reporter Adam Wright's on the phone at the scene with the breaking details.
Yeah, hi, Amanda, Bob. I'm currently at the corner of Macy Street and MacArthur Street. This is a 5-acre brush fire. This information coming from the Florida Forest Service. It is 80% contained at this time. Compare that to last week's brush fire. That was a 50-acre brush fire. Now, when I was driving in, I could see a lot of smoke going into the air. There is considerably less smoke right now than there was just about a half an hour or so. There are homes threatened at this time, but according to officials, they're still working to find out how many homes are threatened. I do see some people standing outside. I'm not sure if they just came to watch the action or if they have been told to remove from their homes. The Forestry Service says they are recommending that people leave their homes if they can. The fire is within the streets of Milwaukee, Cottonwood, Barton, and Hawthorne. So if you're in that area, be on the lookout. And the good news is that no injuries have been reported so far, but again, this 5-acre brush fire is 80% contained. They have large piles of dirt surrounding the fire line there to prevent it from spreading any further. Of course, this is a developing story. I'm working to gather more information. 80% contained at this time, and we'll see where it goes from here. Back to you.
All right, Adam, we'll be checking in. Also breaking right now at 4 o'clock, Wink News goes on the water as crews continue an all-out search for a missing boater. 62-year-old Jim Winkler set sail more than 24 hours ago and hasn't been seen since.
And new video shows crews recovering his empty boat overnight in Lee County. The massive search now spans 2 counties. Wink News reporter Nicole Valdez went to the search area this afternoon and is live at the Burnstore Marina in Charlotte County with brand new information. Nicole.
That's right. We're now getting new details into this extensive search. We're told officials were able to ping Winkler's location just off the coast of Bokeelia via his cell phone. That was at 7 o'clock last night. That's 5 hours after we're told he took his boat out. And again, that area is where officials have been searching all day. Now, we want to get you to some brand new video we shot again today on the water. You can see we saw multiple agencies out there today, including Lee County deputies on jet skis and Coast Guard helicopters in the air, all looking for clues as to where Winkler could be. Now, we know he set out around 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon in Charlotte County. Now, his boat was found empty overnight off the coast of Bokeelia, but we're told it had plenty of gas. Now, we spoke to FWC just a few hours ago, who say while they're working to do everything they can, they still don't know what led to Winkler's disappearance.
It's not really suspicious. We've had a lot of these cases happen over the years. There was no damage to the vessel, but at this point, we don't have any idea what happened to him.
Now back out here live again. This is the location where Winkler's boat was towed in earlier today. Again, we're told that they are still very hopeful in finding him. Water conditions have been very favorable today, and so far they have no plans to stop searching. We're live at Burnstore Marina. I'm Nicole Valdez, Wink News. Now.
Nicole, thank you. Complete coverage now. And we're hearing from Jim Winkler's neighbor, who says Winkler's passionate about boating.
Neighbor takes great care of his house, his yard. He's done beautiful landscaping, done some remodeling. See him going out with his boat and his trailer and whatnot.
Here's his picture again. Jim Winkler's been missing now for more than 24 hours. Stay with Wink News for more live team coverage later tonight at 5 and 6.
Turning now to our weather, and let's get you to a live look at downtown Fort Myers. Clear skies, but we're in for a hot weekend.
And Wink News is the weather authority, and meteorologist Mary Mays is here with a first look at your forecast.
I certainly am. Yeah, we are in for some warm temperatures this weekend. Certainly has been warm today. I'm also looking at the potential for some isolated rain as we head into the afternoon. That's starting to come true right now. You can see downtown Fort Myers getting some rain just south of Palm Beach. Also Cypress Lake area getting some rain there just along 41. This is what we're going to see as we head into the next few hours. Just a few pop-up showers here and there, certainly going to be a possibility. Now, these warm temperatures are holding on, still seeing plenty of 90s on this map. 91 Arcadia, 92 in Palmdale. We're at 82 in Fort Myers. 80s this evening, isolated rain. I've got a look at your weekend forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Mary, thank you. Also breaking right now from Wink News Campaign Central. Police in riot gear standing guard near San Francisco as a large group protests Donald Trump. These are live images there from California at a Republican Party convention at a Hyatt hotel. We also have some video, and you can see a line of police blocking the protesters. In just the last hour, Donald Trump made it inside of the building that we just saw live. Secret Service agents surrounded him as he worked his way past the fencing up a hill and eventually through a back entrance. We'll continue to monitor things right outside of that hotel, bring you any breaking updates. That rally, of course, comes hours after fierce fights broke out at another Donald Trump event in California, leaving people like this man bloody and bruised. Overnight in Costa Mesa, hundreds of people rallied against the Republican. Others danced and waved Mexican flags, objecting his controversial immigration plans. Police arrested more than a dozen people last night.
Also on the Republican side, Senator Ted Cruz just picked up a key endorsement. Indiana Governor Mike Pence is throwing his support behind Cruz just days ahead of the Indiana primary. And on the Democratic side, Hillary Clinton was the keynote speaker this morning at a breakfast in New York City. She talked about the importance of giving low-income children the best education possible. Meanwhile, Senator Bernie Sanders just wrapped up a rally in Indianapolis. His campaign says he's committed to staying in the race until the end, despite being well behind Clinton in the delegate count. Again, the next primary is this Tuesday in Indiana for both Democrats and Republicans. Count on Wink News for live results as they come in.
Developing now, we're digging deeper into the sudden suspension of a Lee County school principal. Wink News anchor Chris Safadi is here with the new details.
Amanda, this was breaking news earlier today on Wink News at noon, and now we're learning more about Dwayne Courtney, the principal at Mirror Lakes Elementary School in Lehigh Acres. Here's his picture. The school district confirms he is suspended with pay pending a professional standards review, but the school district isn't saying what, if any, policies he may have violated. New at 4, we did some digging and found that Courtney was actually awarded last year by the Sunshine State Public Relations Association for being a turnaround leader. He was recognized for taking a struggling school and improving it, but again, he's now suspended pending a professional standards review, and we're working to find out why. Amanda, back to you.
Chris, thank you. The man accused of murdering a 7-Eleven clerk in Charlotte County was in court today. Michael Russo is charged with second-degree murder. Today, his attorneys asked that critical evidence in the case, like Russo's computer and latex gloves, not be destroyed at any point in the investigation. Police say Russo shot 18-year-old Kyle Farishian back in November, then set his body on fire.
Chilling new video shows a security scare at a Baltimore TV station yesterday. This was breaking news on Wink News at 4. A man in a panda suit and a mask, claiming to be strapped to a bomb, walked into the Fox affiliate. He ripped open his jacket in the lobby. Police eventually shot him after he walked out of the building. Now at 4, we're hearing from the father of 25-year-old Alex Brizzi, who says his son thought the world was ending.
When he had his problem a week or two ago, he said that he had a vision from God and that the world was going to end.
Brizzi's now in serious condition in the hospital, but is expected to survive. And fiery new pictures out of Pittsburgh, where a gas line exploded this morning. Officials say the blast destroyed a home and damaged 2 others. One man suffered serious burns.
A warning just in about a new case of fraud here in Southwest Florida. The Lee County Sheriff's Office says crooks are approaching people in public areas claiming that they've won the lottery, but they say they need your help to collect the winnings. They agree to sell you the winning ticket or even ask for you for money money or other valuables, and in exchange, they say they'll split the winnings with you. Bottom line, all of these tactics are bogus, and you should just walk away.
Now at 4, the hunt's on for a crook who pulled off an unholy act at a Cape Coral church. Wake News reporter Ellen Thal spoke exclusively to the victims.
It's just the thought that this is where people come as a safe haven, you know, where people come to congregate and feel safe, and to think that, you know, something like this happened, you know, just kind of hurts.
3 broken windows and a stolen electric guitar. That's what the Iglesia de Dios Pentecostal is dealing with. It happened earlier this week.
To have someone come in to where you completely devote yourself and give your heart to is, you know, it does something to someone.
Torres says this isn't the first time they've been victims of theft. She says 2 years ago, all of the AC units you see behind me were stolen.
And even though the damage is only a few $100s, the church is saving money for something bigger, a new place of worship.
A couple windows, maybe just a couple $100s, but it's not just that. It's now that we have to take a couple $100s to put into something when we have something much bigger that we want to do for, you know, for our church, for our community.
Torres says they're going to keep holding service there, and says they have a message for the thief.
We have prayed and we have forgiven them, and, you know, God will take care of everything.
Ellen Thals, Wink News Now.
If you know who the crook is, call the Cape Coral Police. And breaking news is just coming in about another case of a man preying on children in Collier County. The details are right after the break.
Also, what do students like about school and what aren't they crazy about? The Collier County School Superintendent's looking for those answers, how this new effort could improve education.
I am tracking rain here on Wink News Doppler radar. I'm going to get a closer look at this and talking about the weekend. That's coming up.
And foul ball, Miami Marlins star D. Gordon suddenly suspended for using banned drugs. What he's saying about it.
Breaking news just coming in about yet another case of stranger danger in Collier County. Take a look at this sketch. Deputies say a man who looks like this approached 2 boys last night in Golden Gate Estates and made suspicious comments towards them. This was along 12th Street Northeast. Here's a description of his truck, an older model black pickup with an extended cab and a ladder strapped to the roof. The truck has dents, scratches, and rusty patches. There have been almost 10 cases of stranger danger in Collier County over the last few weeks. If you know who this man is, call the Collier County Sheriff's Office.
Wink News meteorologist Mary May is joining us now. It's a hot weekend ahead of us, some 90s in the forecast, and you're tracking some pop-up showers right now.
Yeah,
right?
I am. It feels like summer. And it feels like the wrong season.
I know.
Yeah, definitely seeing some rain right now, and still pretty warm out there for a lot of Southwest Florida. So if you're not seeing the rain, it is actually pretty steamy here in Southwest Florida. So I'm going to actually switch it over to radar very quickly here. Looking at some rain in Southwest Florida, you can see our Doppler radar is showing a few those pop-up showers right now throughout the area. So you can see this here in Lee County, especially the downtown Fort Myers area, getting some more moderate to heavy rain just south of Palm Beach Boulevard there through about Colonial Boulevard. Cypress Lake also getting wet, as well as portions of McGregor Boulevard. I've also been tracking some rain in Collier County. Now this is mainly along 41 just north of San Marco Road. Also we have a few little pop-ups here in inland Charlotte, as well as eastern DeSoto County, just east of Arcadia. This is what it looks like outside. You can see some clouds building in. Wink News Skycam showing a darker sky there. Where you're not seeing the rain, it is pretty warm. 90 Arcadia, 90 still in Mockley. Rain-cooled air, Fort Myers, 80 degrees. And we do have a southwest wind around 11 miles per hour. So we are seeing that southwest breeze through a good portion of the area, mainly along the coast, and that should keep us a little bit cooler than areas inland. Looking at temperatures in the 80s this evening, it's going to stay partly cloudy, and of course isolated rain is possible. So for those dinner plans, yeah, you might need the umbrella. A lot of us will still not see any rain, and if you do see some rain, it'll move out pretty quickly, but a west wind expected 5 to 10 miles per hour. So, you know, if you're going out a little bit later, here's a look at future track. Hit or miss rain. Have the umbrella on hand. Just keep an eye out. The good news is, as you head into the rest of your Friday night, things should start to come to an end. That's 9:30, and you can see it's looking less wet by that point and pretty dry overnight. Tomorrow morning, we wake up to 70. We'll see a couple clouds here and there. and an isolated chance of rain tomorrow afternoon. Wake-up weather, 70 degrees, mostly clear and mild with a very light southeast wind. Your forecast for tomorrow, yeah, those warm temperatures we've been talking about. If you like the 90s, here they are, 92 in Immokalee, 93 Golden Gate, 90 in Bonita, 91 Fort Myers, a little bit cooler at the beaches, 85 Sanibel with that southwest wind kicking in by the afternoon, 10 to 15 miles per hour. If you're planning on taking the boat out, this is what it's going to look like. You start out with a southeast wind becoming southwest by the afternoon, 10 to 15 knots. We're going to see gulf waves between 2 and 3 feet, light chop in the bays, and water temperature really getting up there now, 81 degrees. 91 for the high tomorrow, isolated rain. We will change over to mostly sunny conditions by your Sunday with a high of 90. We'll wake up to 70. Look at that. Pretty nice for your Sunday. We've got 90 with some hit or miss showers inland for your Monday afternoon and evening. Same story, Tuesday, 89, and then we have more rain on the forecast Wednesday and Thursday, and we'll be a little bit cooler with highs in the mid-80s. Bob, Amanda, over to you.
Mary, thank you. A Wink News exclusive at 4. The Collier County School Superintendent met with more than a dozen high school seniors this morning. And this is neat because the point is to see what they enjoyed best about their experience and what the district can improve on.
And for the first time in 5 years, the school district let the media in on the discussion. Only Wink News reporter Jennifer Jones was there.
That is funny. For almost 2 hours, Collier County School Superintendent Dr. Kamala Patton met with about 15 seniors from Barron Collier, Golden Gate, and Naples high schools.
You get great feedback from the kids, everything from what went well, what did they really like, but how can we make it better for their brothers and sisters and other kids that are coming through the system.
I felt that it was very informative, something that Dr. Patton definitely not necessarily needed, but it's very good to hear from students.
It's something Dr. Patton's been doing for 5 years. Even though she can't meet with every student, she sits down with small groups from each school.
They talk to you very honestly, openly and honestly.
I would like to see the school district just improve on the analysis of test scores in a way and rely less on that as an indicator of how students are performing in the classes and how the teachers are doing.
Probably just being more cohesive with the mandates at the district level and how they're integrated into the school levels, because sometimes at the school the administrators will be getting conflicting mandates from the district, and the way those are implemented in the classroom setting sometimes can be a little rough on the students.
But in all, these students agreed the teachers is what made their experience so great. In Collier County, Jennifer Jones, Wink News Now.
Dr. Patton tells Wink News that next year she'll also spend time with students at their alternative schools. She wants to hear from them about what the district can do better so that they don't end up in the situations that got them there.
New information on Wink News. Changes are on the way for flights at the Naples airport. The president of Elite Airways tells Wink News they're adding a nonstop flight to Newark, New Jersey on Mondays and Fridays to make weekend travel easier for passengers. The change means the company will suspend their Saturday nonstop flight. The airline is also looking to add flights to the Midwest, but hasn't finalized plans just yet. Happening tonight, barbecue, beer, and live music.
All my favorites.
Yeah, do I have your attention? You can enjoy all of that at downtown Fort Myers' 3rd annual Smoke on the Water barbecue competition.
There's going to be professional teams from across the Southeast. They'll fire up their smokers for the grand champion title. The free event starts tonight at 6 and runs until 10 at the Sidney Byrne Davis Arts Center. If you can't make it, though, tonight, don't worry. The competition continues tomorrow morning at 11. If you love barbecue, that's the place to be this weekend.
Oh, and really, who doesn't?
Oh, yeah.
Need a lot of paper towels for that event. A high-profile baseball player is getting some negative attention.
The superstar is facing an 80-game penalty, accused in a doping scandal. Wink News breaks down the details of D. Gordon's suspension.
Plus, could mosquitoes in Lee County carry Zika? State leaders are trying to make sure you're safe. Wink News explains the plans ahead. Breaking now in Wink News, we're learning brand new information about this brush fire in Lehigh Acres. Firefighters telling Wink News the fire is 100% contained at this point, but this fire is suspicious and 6 to 8 homes are threatened.
And right now, Lee County deputies are telling Wink News about several road closures. Milwaukee Avenue and Wabasso Avenue South are closed. This is right where the brush fire is. And Maddock Place and Hawthorne Avenue South are also closed while firefighters put out the flames. There are no reports of injuries at this hour, and we don't know a cause yet, but count on Wink News to bring you any new information as soon as we get it. And we're getting breaking news of the first U.S. Zika death. Health officials in Puerto Rico confirm a 70-year-old man died in February.
The U.S. territory has seen more than 600 Zika cases, with 73 of those cases being pregnant women. Here in Florida, we have 94 travel-related cases of Zika, 4 of them in Lee County and 1 in Collier. Zika can cause rare birth defects. State leaders want to make sure you're safe from Zika. Governor Rick Scott met with Lee County officials about the virus.
And they're hopeful Florida can stop the spread of Zika. Wink News senior reporter Mike Walters here with the details.
Well, Zika makes people sick. It can cause birth defects if a pregnant woman contracts the virus. Now, all the cases in our state have been travel-related, and Governor Rick Scott hopes to keep it from ever becoming an epidemic here. Governor Rick Scott came to Fort Myers to meet with Lee County officials.
If they need something, we're figuring out how we can be helpful. So that's what we're trying to do now, is stay ahead of the game.
The governor says the Centers for Disease Control in Atlanta have complied with his request for testing kits and other items.
But the first thing we have to do is monitor it, and then the next thing we do is continue what like Lee County does already with their spraying. But then if you find a case, even if it's travel related, which the mosquito board's already doing, go in and make sure it doesn't spread.
The rainy season is coming soon, and with it, many places for mosquitoes to breed. The top mosquito fighter in Lee County says he feels good about keeping Zika out of the insects here.
We're doing our best to prevent any mosquito in the county from getting infected with those diseases, and if we find it, we'll knock them down as quickly as possible so they don't bite anybody and transmit the disease.
Still, the federal government admits Zika is a lot scarier than at first thought, and that concerns one Fort Myers resident.
It is frightening. It's a worry, and especially since we like being outdoors here in Florida. We do.
The Food and Drug Administration has just approved emergency use of a test for Zika, and that should speed up diagnosis. Previously, only certain laboratories around the country were allowed to test for Zika. Now, experts remind all of us to empty out the outdoor water containers. Those are the breeding places for mosquitoes that can contain the Zika virus. Back to you, Bob and Amanda.
All right, Mike, thank you for that. Right now, a Norwegian ship captain is talking about the moments he realized he found the boat of 2 missing Palm Beach teenagers.
There was a motor on it, and it was also a fairly nice, complete boat, apparently solid. It wasn't something that you just leave on the beach and accidentally get washed away.
Havard Melvar stumbled upon Perry Cohen and Austin Stefanos' boat near Bermuda last month. The 14-year-olds disappeared in the waters off of Jupiter last July. He says when he saw that boat, he knew he couldn't leave it.
I can identify with both the parents and the children that was lost. We, as Norwegians, we've grown up in boats.
The captain's ship took the vessel to Norway, but it's now being shipped back to the U.S. Austin's iPhone was recovered from the boat, but it's still unclear if it can provide any new clues about what happened to the 2 teenagers.
Right now, law enforcement officials across the state are looking for 4 young girls, they say, escaped from a Tampa foster home. Hillsborough County deputies are looking for these girls. Deputies say the 3 in the picture on the left are sisters. The girls were reported missing during a head count early this morning. Deputies believe the girls climbed out of a window and scaled a fence to get away from the foster care home. And brand new information on Wink News. A friend of the man accused of killing 9 black churchgoers in South Carolina has pled guilty to federal charges. Law enforcement officials say Joey Meek admitted to lying to them and said he failed to tell them about Dylan Roof's plans to kill the parishioners. Roof's charged with 9 counts of murder and hate crimes in the killings. The plea deal requires Meek to help the government with its case against Roof. Meek could get a break on his possible 8-year sentence if he does cooperate.
Caught on camera on Wink News, a man who's supposed to be keeping you safe is off the job for this. The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office says it's fired one of their own who was seen on camera hitting a woman who was handcuffed. The 26-year-old probation officer was arrested on a battery charge. The officer says he hit the woman because she tried to kick him as he was restraining her. Well, a wild ride caught on camera on Wink News. Take a look at what happened on a South Florida road. You see that man holding onto the hood. Witnesses say these two got in an argument in southwest Miami-Dade County, and that's when one of them ended up jumping on the other guy's car.
I mean, take a look at this. It's just crazy. Witnesses said the man was on top of the car's hood for several miles. Police, however, are stopping short of calling it road rage. Wink News reporter Victor Oquendo shows us the daring act.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. That's super dangerous.
It's a shocking sight. A man hanging onto the front of a car as the driver keeps going. Witnesses called it a bad case of road rage.
It's crazy. I mean, I've never seen something like it. I mean, someone on top of a car just rolling. I mean, that's crazy.
Sebastian Roldan's business surveillance cameras were also rolling here on Southwest 104th Street in Kendall, right across from the Miami-Dade College campus.
The guy could have fell off the car and, you know, get hurt or something.
The person who shot the video says they heard arguing, and when the man standing in front of the white VW sedan refused to move, the driver hit the gas, even cutting off another car to pull a U-turn from the middle lane, all with the man clinging to his hood. What happens next is still a mystery. They were out of sight, and Miami-Dade police didn't have enough evidence for a follow-up investigation.
Oh my God.
Miami has its share of bad drivers, and this street can get very busy. But this video surprised everyone we showed it to.
They're both not very smart.
I hope he didn't just slam on his brakes.
No, just a very bizarre situation.
Yeah.
Holding on that tight. He's lucky he didn't fall off.
Yeah, he's lucky. Maybe he went all the way home with the guy, and maybe they worked it out.
Maybe they're friends now. We'll see. Wink News continues to follow breaking news on Wink News at 4:30. A brush fire is deemed suspicious in Lehigh Acres. We'll have a live report coming up in just 3 minutes.
Going to go back out to that breaking news of brush fire in Lehigh Acres. Wink News reporter Adam Wright is live with some brand new information.
Yeah, we're at the corner of MacArthur and Milwaukee Boulevards, and just within the last hour, a lot of progress has been made on this fire. It went from 80% contained to now 100% contained, and this fire is considered suspicious. That just coming within the last hour. Officials at the Florida Forest Service tell me that's because there hasn't been any lightning strikes, and there have been no down power lines. So again, they are considering the cause of this fire, which is still under investigation, suspicious. I want to take you over here. You see some people standing here, some families. I just spoke with them a few minutes ago. They said that they were within the fire lines, and they were told to leave their homes, but no injuries reported, so that's good news. And we'll take you down here a little bit further. Milwaukee Boulevard in this direction just reopened a few minutes ago, and if you can see down the street, you see some fire trucks there. We have a crew heading down that way in just a few minutes to get some up-close footage. Now, if you take a look at the skies, it was kind of smoky around here just a few minutes ago. It has cleared up, but if we come over here this way a little bit more, it is a little smokier down Cottonwood Avenue. I don't know how well this might show up on TV, but it is a little smokier down in this direction. You see some Lee County Sheriff's deputies out here. 6 agencies responded to this fire at 2 o'clock this afternoon. But again, it is 100% contained, a 5-acre brush fire. 6 to 8 homes were threatened by this, but they are no longer. No homes were damaged, I'm told by officials. And again, this is 100% contained right now, and it is considered suspicious. We'll stay out here for many more hours to come, and we'll continue following this on the Wink News Night Beat. But for now, we're live in Lehigh Acres. Adam Wright, Wink News now.
Okay, so it sounds like those homes are in the clear, and that's good news.
Yeah, a lot of great news. They really contained that fire in a hurry.
Yeah. Well, picking that perfect bottle of wine can be a daunting task. Now, there's an app for that.
And coming up on Wink News, find out how that app predicts what you like, even when you're not completely sure.
All right, we are tracking some pop-up showers here in Southwest Florida. I'm talking about how long this rain will last and what's ahead for the weekend. That's coming up.
It is just so hot out there today. A couple people getting cooled off just a little.
It certainly is. We do have some rain, though. That is helping out. But definitely has been a pretty warm day. Lots of readings in the 90s, and it's going to stay pretty similar as we head into the weekend. Let's check out Doppler radar right now. You can see a few pop-up showers. It's not really widespread activity, but it is just hit or miss. Getting a closer look at some of the rain in Lee County right now. You can see Buckingham, really the western half of Buckingham, getting that rain. Just just east of 75. Suncoast to States, you got some light rain, and it's going to be moving towards 75. Also, some heavier stuff north of the Caloosahatchee there. We do have some rain in Charlotte County, around the Port Charlotte, just moving toward the Harbor Heights area. Not quite along 75, but close by. East of Lily, you do have some of that rain, but 41 is looking drier than it did earlier. So hit or miss rain, certainly going to be possible as we head into the next couple of hours. Looking at visible satellite, you can see where the clouds are, mainly inland in that southwest breeze as well. It is pretty clear still, though, at the coast. Look at our Sanibel Harbor Marriott Skycam. You can see the Sanibel Causeway with that beautiful blue sky. The rest of tonight, we're going to continue to see that west wind and the rain. Looks like it's mainly going to be inland, but we've seen it kind of all through the area lately. So I would say pretty much if you're going to be out and about for dinner, couldn't hurt to have the umbrella no matter where you're at. But we're going to be watching that pretty carefully. Some of that could be working its way back toward the coast. I think it's starting to come to an end by about 10 o'clock. So if you have late night plans, you should be pretty good. But dinner plans, you might want to just have the umbrella on just in case. Tomorrow morning should be pretty quiet, mainly clear. As we head into the afternoon, we'll see some clouds building in and a hit or miss chance of rain tomorrow. Currently, we've been talking about these warm temperatures. Yeah, look at this. Still seeing plenty of 90s on this map. 93 Lehigh Acres, 94 even Sebring, 91 Immokalee. You can see who's had the rain, though. 80 degrees there, Fort Myers, 84 in Naples. So depending on where you're at, you might be a little bit cooler just due to some raindrops that have been pushing in. Southwest wind along the coast, about 10 to 15 miles per hour. Wind a lot lighter out of the southeast inland. Looking at your forecast for tomorrow morning, we'll see that light southeast wind, mix of 60s and 70s, a very mild start to the day. Afternoon, though, looking warm again. 93 Golden Gate, 90 in Naples, 91 Fort Myers. We will be a touch cooler at the beaches with mid-80s around Sanibel. 7-day forecast. Your Saturday, we've got the isolated rain, mainly an afternoon, evening thing as we head into your Sunday. Mostly sunny, rain-free, but warm, 90 for the high. This is a look at future track, though. Actually looks pretty nice on your Sunday. We'll keep it around 90 on Monday. Isolated rain inland. Same story on Tuesday, 89. And then as we head into the middle and end of next week, we'll take a few degrees off those high temperatures, but we do have isolated rain in the forecast Wednesday into Thursday morning. 86 for the high Wednesday, Thursday 85, and then 86 Friday. Lows will be in the 70s through Thursday, but Friday we're looking at a low of 66. Back to you.
All right, Mary, thank you. Right now, Vice President Joe Biden's at the Vatican calling for a renewed commitment to cancer research. The Vice President called the disease a human problem that needs international attention. Biden then tried to rally international support behind the White House's so-called Cancer Moonshot program, which aims to develop new treatments and to find a cure. Pope Francis said faith and science can work together to solve the cancer epidemic.
New on Wink News, do you struggle with picking that perfect bottle of wine? There are tens of thousands of varieties and vintages from every region of the world. Now, as Wink News reporter Marley Hall explains, there's an app that knows what you like even when you don't.
For Rachel Seco, the perfect wine pairing involves her smartphone. The 26-year-old uses a free mobile app called Wine Ring to select a vintage that suits her taste and budget.
There can be a lot of intimidation when you're looking at a really dense wine list. I think it just takes that intimidation out of it, and it helps me to feel a lot less overwhelmed.
Pam Dillon is the CEO and co-founder of Wine Ring. She says the app uses a preference profile to predict a wine that the user will like.
First thing I want to do is build my preferences, right?
The first thing you want to do is love, like, so dislike. First thing you want to do is rate a wine.
Once the app learns your preferences, it can then predict what you'll like. Take a picture of the label or type in the name. Wine Ring has a database of nearly 100,000 wines.
There's no way for any expert to know them all. No one knows them all. Only technology can know them all.
There are plenty of other wine apps available, including Delectable and Vivino. But Wine Ring claims to be the only one that is powered by user tastes. And if you're out to dinner with friends who use the app, it can suggest a bottle of wine that everyone will like.
It's never recommended a wine for me that I haven't liked.
Rachel says the only challenge is using the app responsibly.
Marley Hall, Wink News Now.
Have to check that out.
Those days of reading the backs of the labels in the aisles, hopefully over, right?
Yeah, or just standing there going, oh, what am I going to get? Exactly. Well, happening today, can you believe it? It's been 5 years since one of the most publicized weddings of all time. No one can forget the royal wedding of Prince William and Kate Middleton.
Oh, no, a lot has happened since 2011, their wedding at Westminster Abbey, including the births of their 2 children, Prince George and Princess Charlotte. An estimated 2 billion people tuned into that royal wedding broadcast. Can you believe it's 5 years?
No, I can't.
So fast.
Happy anniversary. Well, Mother's Day is right around the corner, and it's the most popular time of the year to send flowers.
But before you buy that bouquet online, stay tuned to Wink News. Next, we'll show you how to save money and get the freshest flowers possible.
All new on Wink News, Mother's Day will be here. Before you know it, people spend more on flowers for the holiday than they do for Valentine's Day, close to $2.5 billion.
And many of those flowers will be ordered online. Wink News Call for Action reporter Lindsay Sablon has some advice before you buy.
If you're planning to send a Mother's Day bouquet, you want it petal perfect. Big holiday orders put a strain on florists. So Consumer Reports ordered a variety of colored roses near another high-stress time for florists, Valentine's Day. The long stem roses were from popular online florists like Pro Flowers, FTD, and 1-800-Flowers. When the flowers arrived, they were assessed by Consumer Reports staffers. There were some surprises. These boxed roses from Pro Flowers flopped out of their protective plastic collar, and all but 5 of the stems were broken. A Consumer Reports editor called Pro Flowers without revealing her identity and received a fresh bouquet the next day. Later, Pro Flowers gave Consumer Reports a statement that said in part, "We believe the damage occurred somewhere in transit between the farms and your doorstep. If you're not satisfied, all the sites Consumer Reports checked offered a refund or a replacement. So be sure to ask your mom if her flowers arrived in good shape. And as you're ordering, take into account the cost of shipping."
You won't see this charge until you're checking out. We paid between $13 and $19 per bouquet for shipping.
Consumer Reports found another surprise.
We noticed that as we clicked around the 3 sites, either the prices began to drop or we were offered discount coupons. So taking your time can really pay off.
And because delivery costs escalate as the holiday approaches, consider sending mom her flowers a few days early. Consumer Reports advises that the best way to keep flowers fresh is to snip a ½ inch from the bottom with the sharp scissors and get them into room temperature water immediately. Use the flower food that's included and remove any leaves below water level. I'm Call for Action reporter Lindsay Sablon, Wink News Now.
Good heads up. Got to remember Mom.
Mom always deserves the freshest flowers on Mother's Day, right?
Of course she does.
Oh, yeah. Lois is here now with a look at what's coming up at 5.
Well, Wink News is staying on top of breaking news in Lehigh Acres, a brush fire burning near homes. Wink News talks to frantic residents, hoping their homes were spared. Hundreds of gallons of sewage pumped into mangroves. It's an environmental disaster that could now cost you, the taxpayer, $1,000 a day in fines. And how much do you trust your mechanic? Wink News has a list of the most common car repair scams and what to do if you suspect you're being taken. Wink News comes up next.